Hey guys, today we're doing one of my favorite things, which is going to see a master craftsman at work in his shop creating one of the tables that I've designed for a client. Now today we're visiting Girelli Woodworking here in Huntington Beach, and they are going to show you everything, kind of a DIY story about how to make a table so you could do something like this at home. So I'm here right now with Micah, who is the master of all woodworking, all right? And he's gonna tell us a little bit about this exact table that we're gonna be showing you today. Micah, tell me a little bit about how this table came to be.
Well, on the drawings that you approved, after you submitted the concept and then we did our shop drawings for you.
I approved this?
You did? Yeah. Well, I hope so, because it's in process.
Good.
We have the table base and the tabletop here, but here we're going to be focusing on the table base.
And you know what we can do is we can link a set of the drawings below.
Oh, there we go. Right now, what I'm going to show you is how I go about making this table base. It's just, the idea is that it's a clean, square pedestal.
Yes.
Now, making things look clean and simple tend to be the hardest things to do.
It's true, isn't it, right? Because you have to hide all your joinery, detailing, and everything, right?
Ornate moldings and things are nice because you can layer on as you go and cover up seams as you go. But in this case, we can't do that.
Yes.
So what we have one here, one of the two.
Oh, this is the base itself.
Here it is.
Oh, how wonderful.
And so if you notice, it still has the plastic on it, which we'll keep because we don't want it to get damaged.
Now this is the finished face, right?
This is the finished face.
Yes, and so this could have been, say, if you're doing something like this at home, this could have been, say, a piece of finished plywood that someone would be staining or something like this.
Absolutely.
This was actually a material that the client chose, and so that's why we're fabricating the tables in this.
And I do have, over here, I have a piece of the material that we're working with.
Let's take a look at this.
And this is the edge banding that we apply.
Oh, look at that.
And this works great for doors. It works great for panels in the kitchen and products like that. You can see it's an MDF core, which is nice and flat and stable, but we're talking a paper thin surface is what our finished surface is.
A veneer, right,
so one way to make, how do we make these joints here? How do we make it come together? Well, we could go with the edge banding, do a butt joint, but that looks, just doesn't have...
That has not the right look we want.
Correct.
Right. We want a mitered edge.
So what we have is, and we'll show it in use, is we're making a lock miter joint.
Ooh, show us that.
And so here we can see this is one part of the joint. Here is the other part.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's got a little tooth that just goes into the socket, or what is that called?
It ends up being a tongue and groove.
Tongue and groove,
miter.
Okay.
So a miter is a fairly strong joint, but then when it goes together...
Oh, look at that.
And if you see that point there...
Look at that. That is so sharp and clean and shows nothing about how those two materials meet and stay held together.
Exactly.
Ooh, Micah, that's great.
So it's a good mechanical joint. The term would be mechanical, where it, when you try to pull this way or that way, it doesn't come apart. However, in order for it to come apart is straight out, and once it's glued,
it doesn't come apart.
Right. Because we have two things happening. We have a good mechanical joint, and then because of all of these, even the valley and the peaks and such, we have a lot of surface area that takes the glue. So we have an expanded surface area that gets glued along with the mechanical joint. And this joint, if this were to fall, the joint won't fail. The product, the material will get damaged, but the joint won't fail.
Right, and all of that makes the table more stable and long-lasting over time, right? Yeah. And if you're to move it, say a lot of our people, are moving furniture and things like that, it'll stay stable even if it's moved.
It will.
Yeah.
Yes, this will.
That's great. So, Micah, tell us a little bit about what you're going to show us on this table.
I showed you the lock miter, and this is how I get that lock miter done. Here is the lock miter.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
And it will work, and we'll show it in action. We run the board through vertically for one side of the joint, and then we run it flat and horizontally for the other. We don't change this setting at all. We use this to make both cuts.
Oh, cool.
It's
All
really
right.
cool, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
All right, well,
Okay.
first we have to cut our parts square,
Right.
and then we'll run them through the...
To create the base.
To create
yes.
the base.
Oh, and I wanted to show you guys something. If you can come over here. So I wanted to show you the actual base that we've partially completed for one of the two tables. Has just this little stabilizing cleat. Is that what it's called? On the bottom for it, so that we can put the...
Attach the top to it.
Attach the top to it, and then that'll be on the same on the bottom, right?
It's better into the plywood than it does the MDF.
Ah, isn't that great?
Better grab.
But this is so strong that it really doesn't need a second body inside of it. That's what's so great about this stuff. Okay, so fill us in on what this stage is.
So right now we're doing a glue up for the second pedestal of the table for Lido. And so right now we have to make sure that we get glue in all the crevices so that it sticks together and it's really strong.
Got
for the
it,
base.
got it.
All right, so I like to start with the groove first. And so we just
And you just fill the groove with glue.
get it in there. And then I like to do the inside bevel. Now, after we get a bead all the way down, then we have to get our fingers dirty and make sure that we
that's
get
the fun part,
coverage.
right?
Exactly. Now we've got a 30-minute open time, which means we've got 30 minutes to get this into clamps. So
And is there a type of glue that you'd recommend for this,
I like
Micah?
using Tite Bond 3. This is actually considered a waterproof glue. It'll be ready to take out of clamps in about, we got a little bit of humidity and it's cool, so I'd like to leave it in a couple hours, but I'll just leave it in overnight.
Okay.
And then this is the corresponding miter joint. Now MDF is porous. If I only have it on one surface, the other surface will drink it in, will basically absorb it. So by having it on both surfaces, it just ensures that you're gonna get a real, a bond without any voids.
So on this end, it's like almost gone.
It's drinking it in.
Yeah, wow. So you want to make sure that you get it everywhere.
Yeah, and that's why doubling it up on both surfaces.
Sure.
If it's squeezing out everywhere and it's just a mess, that's about right.
That's about right. Oh, isn't that interesting? Like putty is your buddy, glue is your friend. Yeah, right?
Because of the lock miter, the way it's designed, we don't do miter clamping. We're actually doing straight clamping because
Oh, it pulls it in.
that makes it so much easier than
Right.
trying to do an actual 45-degree clamp.
So there's the table base already. It's not glued together yet, but it's on its way.
We'll start with one side. Okay, right there. That's good.
It's great how you can already see the table base just becoming out of nothing.
Now here's one of the most important things is square. So right now the inside corner measures 26 going this direction. And we're at 25 and 7/16. So we are way out of square.
Way out of square. Now how does that happen?
There's a little bit of movement. So if we're 26 here, you take the long measurement and you squeeze it in.
Ah, okay. And then you check for square again.
Check for square again. You just keep doing it right now. We're at 25 and 5/8. And here we're at 25 and 3/4. So we gotta make up for about a 16. That's
11
that's pretty
16ths
good.
and 3/4 is pretty close.
But we can even get it better. Okay, we're just under 11. All right, that's it.
There you go.
Done! Yay! Congrats! The addition of the additional clamps changes it.
It did.
It did. And what's amazing is that I simply design something in my head and go, oh, that'll be easy to fabricate. A square. Never knowing how much detail goes into getting something square from raw materials.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, all right, good.
Now I'm gonna let this drain for a little bit. You can see it's squeezing out the bottom.
Yes.
You see even we've got squeeze out happening along the seam here, and that's perfect.
You want that.
I do.
Yeah.
Because we have the metal tape and we have the film, it just will pop right out.
Yeah, yeah. We've done the base. He's already cut part of the subtop. So we're gonna check in with him on what he's doing now. what I'd love for you to tell me is what happens after I make a sketch and give that to you, and you create these beautiful shop drawings. Then from there, how do we get these amazing tables?
I usually, if not always, start with building the base. So I have the dimensions for that. I get the base built, so now that we have that in process, this piece here, I've got some cleats for screwing things in. There's a panel on the very bottom so that it's not just hollow. Then the next thing is doing the top. This table has a subtop, like a kitchen countertop.
Yes, right. Yeah, because this won't be the finished table.
Right,
Yeah.
and so
Okay.
we have this cut and installed, and then the next step is to cut the Cusco Oro.
Which is the same material as the base.
Same material as the base,
Right.
and make sure that it fits correctly. And then I will do the hardwood walnut, cutting that to
beautiful
size,
edge. Yeah.
mitering it, doing the joinery that will attach to the Cusco Oro. And that's just going to be basically a sleeve that drops over on top of this.
Ah, okay.
And then we'll secure it from underneath.
Oh, how cool. And so it'll stay attached to this.
Correct.
And at 48 inches, which is what the final dimension is on
Right.
this won't be a problem in terms of getting into buildings and or through the doorways and stuff.
No.
I happen to know that front door is 5 feet wide.
Well,
So that can
right.
go in straight.
it could, but if we did run into a situation where for some reason maybe we had to go through the garage,
Yes.
because this is less than 30 inches in height,
Yes.
then we turn it on edge.
Ah, perfect.
So we can get through,
and move it in.
I mean, pretty much every
Yeah.
entryway door is going to be at least 36 inches.
So tell me why you're doing the beautiful walnut edge in a hand-rubbed oil finish.
Well, hand rubbed oil is not going to have a high gloss sheen
Perfect.
or a build.
Okay.
It'll really capture like the natural look of the walnut.
Oh, beautiful.
The
Beautiful.
other aspect of it is because it's not a film finish like a brushed on varnish or a sprayed on lacquer,
Yeah.
it won't chip.
Nice.
So
And these are the edges, so
It's
that's
the
important
edges.
for
Yes,
this.
I like to think of it like it's like putting lotion on when you use hand rubbed oil compared to like maybe putting acrylic on your nails.
Yes, yes.
And if the wood does get damaged,
Right.
we leave the client with a little bit of oil. All you have to do is just wipe
Is
the oil.
touch it again.
It will take the abuse, and then it's also easy to repair when it does get abused.
That's such a great solution. It's good for people to know about those kinds of things because everybody thinks about varnishing things. And often, an oil rub or a simpler finish is really better. It's certainly better for the environment. So another thing I wanted to ask you is, because a lot of our viewers are DIYers and would see something like this and want to fabricate it themselves, what would be a tip or two that you could give them?
So this table could be built with a table saw, and if you were to get a table saw sled, you can make it. You can YouTube that and find
Sure.
different versions of that. You don't have to have a sliding table like I do.
Yes.
Or you could use a skill saw or circular saw with a really clean blade and a good straight edge.
And a good straight edge.
Yes,
Okay.
so- and
okay.
clamps. So
yeah,
you-
because a lot of guys won't have this level of shop setup.
Right.
Right.
So
right.
if you had that, and then if you were to have a router table, you can make a simple router table.
As you did,
As
yes.
I did. And then you get that lock miter bit.
The lock miter bit. Oh, that is in the center of it. Right.
And,
right.
and as simple as this seems, clamping calls, there's no pressure points on here,
right. Right.
and then your clamps and glue, and you're ready to go.
How about that? That's really pretty easy, guys. And this table, when you see it, you're gonna be amazed by it.